What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd and I'm back with some more Age Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the red color, playing as Isis. His name's Joe. His opponent today in the blue color, also playing as Isis. His name is IKill, UDie. The map is Marsh, and this is currently game number 2 of this best of 3 series. It's 1-0 for IKill. UDie won that first game with some nice chronos play. Seeming like both players here either opted into an Isis mirror or just thought that Isis was their best bet on this map, this Marsh map here. We see villagers moving over here onto the deer and doing their thing. Isis wars can be very, very volatile. And if you can get off a good Ancestors Eclipse, you basically can win them. And conversely, they can be incredibly slow and boring as well, and go incredibly late if both players play defensive or boomy as well. If one player goes very aggressive and the other player goes boomy, they can be very volatile as well. So we'll see what happens here. We check out the relics on the map. Marsh always has an extra couple, so love checking those out. We see Guy's Book of Knowledge here, 300% infantry bonus damage to the Titans. And we've got over here the Ship of Fingernails, giving yourself 24 free food per minute. And over here we see the Thundercloud Shawl. Actually a really good relic for this matchup, considering how Chariot, Archer heavy both players generally go. We do see IKill UDie opting, or both players actually kind of opting to chuck their obelisks up in the middle of the map. And we do see that the Osberg wagon here has been picked up for Joe. Grabbing that one before I even spotted it. Alright, Joe, bring in the... wait, hold on. Let me just pause. Are you guys trolling me? I believe there's chat here. Monument to the Villagers coming up for Joe, nice and early. You get that one up fairly early so you can get a fast flood of the Nile. Getting that fast flood of the Nile does give yourself effectively an extra villager, so getting that earlier just gives you a slight edge. It's not the biggest deal if you delay it a little bit, but you do want to be getting it fairly fast. A pig scouting as well from Joe's great. We see both players doing it, so no low level players in this game. It's a serious game here. And playing with Isis, you definitely want to be going for as much scouting as you possibly can, because the priest does scout very, very slowly. If we check out the players' point of views here, you can see how much of the map they've scouted with the obelisks compared to what you would normally have scouted with other civilizations. And Joe will be very similar as well. But you can see how much of the map is scouted just through pig scouting here. It's really nice. He's found his town center. He's found his aurochs over here. He's found some hunt over here, some water buffalo, and the deer as well. So I do recommend a good pig scout. All you got to do is shift click them all around, and it's going to be great. We just see IKill UDie coming out with his villagers to the boar in the middle of the map, which you love to see. Don't need to go for those side water buffalo or anything like that, or these deer and water buffalo over here. Going for the middle of the map, always a good idea early in the game against the Isis players. That being said, back in the day, players used to go for like a very aggressive priest action on this map. On Nilla, we used to see like back in like 2010 when the Corn tournament happened and everyone was sort of playing Isis. Magyar's style was to build like 6 priests in the Archaic Age and push off Hunt as soon as he hits the Classical Age. Something that could be done on this map really, really well, and preventing like a possible second town center or something, forcing your opponent to stay one town center if you go up fast enough. All that being said, you can definitely go later, and it's sort of fine. We do see a Prosperity coming in here for Joe, who's going up through Bast. He loves to do these fast 3 town center builds, and he has a little bit of an idle villager there, and I expect that's sort of where he's going to be going with this. Pickaxes come up, and honestly, he's really, really good with these builds, and this prosperity will give him 800 gold very, very easily. You'll be able to grab this town center and this town center. Both town centers are very far back. IKill, UDie on the other hand, lots of villages on gold, but does not look like he's going for a fast 3 town center here because of no prosperity. He may be able to get his 3rd town center up a little bit later, or something like that. And we'll see how this goes for both players, and potentially if IKill, UDie simply just goes for a 1 town center fast heroic, you can punish the 3 town center a little bit by killing off this town center very fast and getting his town centers a little bit later. And there we go, the villages do split up. We've got 5 villages onto this town center, and we have 6 over here with the help of the Pharaoh, Sphinx, and Priest both coming over here to defend that one there. And if we check out Joe's economy here, he's only got 5 villages on food and sending some more villages over onto gold here. These villages will jump straight onto the water buffalo, and his food villages over here are just about finished with that one. There's the town center coming up for IKill, UDie, and he's got a lot of villages still on gold, so he may be considering grabbing this town center as well a little bit later. With 12 villages on gold, it would not surprise me that he goes for that. Just a little bit of a different build order. And Joe just a little bit slower on the 2nd town center, but will obviously catch up on the villages basically in the first 15 seconds of having 3 town centers, if he can afford them, that is. He is sort of short on food here. He's got 0 food when this town center comes up, and with only 5 villages on gold, it's definitely not enough. I would have preferred to see these villages come onto the pigs or something like that immediately instead, and he would have been fine. But it's looking like he's actually nailed this build very, very, very well, as every town center is building them right now. He's got 7 villages on this food, and he's got 5 over here, so he should be able to support his production. There's the 3rd town center for IKill, UDie, except with the difference being that he's going to have prosperity left. So with more villages on a gold mine with prosperity, he's going to get more value out of that one, have more total resources, but just getting them a little bit later, it looks like. And there's the first little hitch that Joe's run into, with just a little bit of idle town center time, but once those resources start piling in, he's going to be totally fine. And if we check out his economy here, he's still a little bit short on the gold if he wants to get to the next stage. You do see the armory coming up, and I think you sort of aim for like a 930 here off this from memory. I could be wrong. Or 9-minute advance time off of this. I've seen Joe do this build before, and I've done it myself, and I'm pretty sure it's a 9-minute advance time. It's pretty brutally strong. We'll see if that becomes a thing or not for Joe. He's moving over and eating these deer, and be killing the water buffalo as well. And just the calm before the storm, ladies and gentlemen. The calm before the storm. Villagers moving over here onto the boar, and let's check out where IKill, UDie is sitting at. He's got the gold already. He just needs to get the food, but it's looking like he's going to be a little bit behind the 8 ball here, whereas Joe should be able to click up around about now. He's got just enough gold. There's the food. He cancels villager production. There's Nephthys coming through. The villagers will start yet again. And as I said, it's just a little bit behind 9 minutes, but he's basically done this correctly, whereas IKill, UDie very, very slow here. He's going to have better economy, like we said, because of the later prosperity, but we'll see if it's going to matter or not as Joe hits the heroic age first. It's only by about 20 seconds though. There's the Nephthys coming through, maybe about 25 seconds. So we'll see what happens. There's the prosperity for IKill, UDie very early. He's got 700 gold here, and these villages not onto this gold mine just yet. If we check out IKill, UDie, he's got 23 villages on gold right now. I would have expected him to possibly put these villages over onto this gold mine for the prosperity before coming back onto the food. Maybe throwing a bunch more villages over onto wood as well. I like the monument to the soldiers here to defend this town center. Nephthys comes through For Joe, going to throw down his Migdol Stronghold immediately, probably, or will he go straight to the Mythic Age? There's the Migdol Stronghold. There's the Siege Works. Actually, I like that play by Joe, going for a Siege Works first. Get the Siege Towers pumping first. Because he hits the Heroic Age first, it means he will be able to put that timing on firstly. First attack and hit the opponent very, very quick. And there's the Siege Towers coming up. There's the Migdol Stronghold just about to come out as well. So we'll see if IKill, UDie can hold against this one. Moving forward with these villagers, going to throw up a Migdol Stronghold in a very precarious position here. If he can pull this back behind the town center, he can definitely survive any sort of onslaught that comes through. There's the Siege Works for IKill, UDie. Another Siege Works coming up for Joey, who's got his first Siege Tower out. We check out his economy. He's got quite a few resources in the bank right now. Going to be spamming out Chariot Archers as well. Villagers coming over onto the gold mines. Got some priests out. No funeral rites for them. And if we check out IKill, UDie's perspective, he's got a couple of priests as well, and again, no funeral rites, but also no Hands of the Pharaoh, which is actually kind of a big deal. You can see 19 range to 21 range, so these Joe priests do quite a bit. And the Siege Works that is completely out of position has been spotted by Joe, gets picked off immediately, and we do see double Siege Works coming down for IKill, UDie, and it's looking like he's not going to have too much of a response here to these siege towers. And while this Monument to the Soldiers is up, it's actually kind of not that important, because you don't want to be casting Ancestors Eclipse on top of the priests and the pharaoh anyways. You want to pull it back a little bit and then run them all forward when they're all produced, when all 13 of them are produced, so that they don't just get picked off as they spawn and they get a little bit extra damage done. But Joe's just chilling for the time being, going to wait a little bit before he decides to go, not happy with only having the 4 siege towers, and the priest's going to heal everyone back up to full HP. Now the siege towers, I do see where their angle is over here. We've got a couple of Scorpion men out. No monument here for Joe. I would have liked to see the monument coming. There's Joe's Ancestors Eclipse coming down. We've got only 5 heroes here for IKill, UDie. The siege towers on top of the Migdol Stronghold. Villagers coming off the wood line here, going to be attempting to take down these siege towers, but the micro from IKill, UDie a little bit slow. Sorry, from Joe, a little bit slow there, and the Migdol Stronghold going to go down instantly here. A priest trying to pick off the Scorpion Man, but it's retreating away from these guys very, very fast. Meanwhile, minions on top of these priests trying to pick them off. Got a couple of War Elephants as well for Joe. Now the siege towers coming in onto this town center. Mercenaries spamming out for IKill, UDie, and Joe is able to basically push through this location relatively unimpeded here, not even losing a siege tower yet. Every tower is always just missing one tower on there as it's trying to just find its way through here, but it just cannot. But it doesn't matter here, as the town center for IKill, UDie falls, and Joe is just so far in front right now. Has got his funeral rites out as well, so when the Ancestors Eclipse comes down for IKill, UDie as he's trying to push back here, these priests are going to do so much damage to them indeed. The Scorpion Men now going to be coming in, but the priest focus fire them and basically one-hit them there before they can get out. Really nice micro there from Joe, picking off the Monument to the Soldiers as well. Sphinx in the back does get picked off by those priests, and this is looking very dire indeed for IKill, UDie, as more siege towers for Joe are just streaming in, having both of those siege works, spamming out War Elephants, as well as a couple of villagers over here that do get sniped as well for Joe, as he manages to take down this siege workshop. The Scorpion Man does get immediately focus fired as well and gets out with 27 HP, but then will be falling. There's the Ancestors Eclipse for Joe, and he's just going to say, all right, I'm out of here. Don't need to fight this one at all. There's barely any siege. There's no siege towers for IKill, UDie, so can just retreat here, no problem. I wouldn't have minded him just trying to pick off some of these ancestors, but not going for that one just yet. The chariots are trying to move forward and sniping some of these things. We see a second Migdol Stronghold coming up. The siege towers can basically turn around and just tank so much. We do see the priest getting sniped, but not the rest of them won't get sniped, and they just turn around and they're just gonna start absolutely crucifying these minions here, which are incredibly low HP from the get-go, and then on top of that, these priests just do so much damage with funeral rites. So if they're getting targeted by units that do that much damage, it's a big deal. And the 13-minute, 50-second Osiris here from Joe, just so far in front. We see the town center has come back up for IKill UDie. Do we see a Mythic Age for him? We do actually see IKill UDie going to the Mythic Age as well. So it's not like he's, actually he's not behind on the economy. He's just sort of behind on the tech. There's the Son of Osiris coming through. Going to start picking off these villagers from afar. Does so much damage. Has 60 hack damage a shot here. And you can just see these units dying. The Son of Osiris does get garrisoned into the Siege Tower. I think that was a little bit of a mistake because he wasn't getting targeted at all, but now he is, or not quite just yet. The Chariot Archer is a little bit out of position here, making a move forward onto the Son of Osiris. Joe does pick off the town center, garrisons the Siege Tower. Mummy gets one pick off there before getting sniped by IKill UDie. There's the Osiris for IKill UDie. Son of Osiris coming in here, but there is no City of the Dead for them, so not as much HP as you'd like to see, but nice volleys there from IKill UDie to do as much damage as you possibly can there. But Heavy Elephants has come in now for Joe, so they deal so much, that will tank so much damage. On top of that, deal so much damage. The Son of Osiris still trying to micro as best as he possibly can in and out of the Siege Tower to try and kill this one here. You have to basically deal one shot garrison. One shot garrison is kind of your best bet here. And now the Siege Towers still coming in, still making them, not switching over to catapults just yet. This is the War Elephant Siege Tower army that you'll love to see. Chariot Archers over here getting absolutely destroyed right now by these Heavy Elephants. And the Son of Osiris does pop out, but IKill UDie very fast at focus firing that one. Whereas Joe has no real answer for the Son of Osiris of IKill UDie, and he does lose that Son of Osiris while he's trying to push through here. And this is looking like IKill UDie may be able to hold on to this location, but I don't see him having another Migdol stronghold, so he can't actually reproduce the units right now. And if Joe starts building out some Chariot Archers here instead of the Heavy War Elephant, he will be able to just pick off the Son of Osiris eventually. It's not the best unit against Egyptian as compared to, say, a Norse or even like a Greek, because the range and the speed of the Chariot Archers is just so good. They're able to come in and pick off so much damage. We just see the Mummy picking off even more of these War Elephants, so it's getting a lot of value. But the War Elephant or the Heavy Elephant will be able to pick off this Mummy before the special ability comes back, and that's really big there for Joe, as he's able to keep spamming out these War Elephants. You can see his upgrades here. We've got Bowsaw, we've got Plow, we've got Quarry, and over here for IKill UDie on the other hand, he's got the same except no Plow, no irrigation, no nothing there for the food upgrade. So he's going to have a very small amount of food. Has started his trade route. Same with Joe though, as Joe has looked like he's managed to secure this position, throwing up a Migdol stronghold up in the front here. Chariot Archers in the back, able to pick off the Chariot Archers of IKill UDie. And we do see the Siege Tower get picked off there as well, as it's trying to prevent the Migdol stronghold from going up. But the Mummy's still here, doing so very much damage. Absolutely bonkers. We do see some mercenary cavalry coming in here, so you have to remember that IKill UDie does have that defender's advantage. The town center is very far away for Joe to help out, so even if you're up 20 population, you kind of still have to produce a lot of towers here to help defend, and it's a little bit early for the tower creation if you want to be taking this location for yourself. Champion Elephant is up now for Joe. But that doesn't matter to the Mummy. The Mummy just has to use the special power to pick them off, wasting that one on a very low HP War Elephant there. There's the Champion Chariots coming in right now for IKill UDie, who's still trying to pump them out. And he's got more Siege Towers coming in. Siege Works in the very front of the base right now, as Joe is still streaming units in. It's currently 153 population to 135. Still not getting out fortified town centers, it seems, as he is trying to pick off this this Mummy in the back. Nice marker from IKill UDie to bring that one back, and just garrisoning the priest and the Siege Towers going after the Son of Osiris right now. But He does have 99% crush armor, so Siege Tower is not the best to pick off a Son of Osiris. Though they do shoot quite a few projectiles, I think. But now we've got catapults coming out, more chariot archers here. Not finishing off this town center though. Not town center, Migdol stronghold. Opting to move on to the town center to see if he can just put it up very fast. The Son of Osiris is somehow able to hit the Pharaoh in the back there. That's going to slow this down quite considerably. The villagers are about to get sniped though by these chariot archers, even with all of these war elephants here. I think the best bet for Joe would be to just start spamming down towers here instead, because that's basically putting him in front on the population and forcing IKill, UDie to make siege weapons instead of army, which is going to allow him to push through a little bit easier. And you do respond to those mercenaries with watchtowers nicely. But more villagers for Joe coming out. Is he reproducing them? Yes, fortified town centers coming through as well for him, as more villagers are coming in right now, utilizing the Son of Osiris, which is one of the few units that does ranged hack damage, especially was the only unit that does ranged hack damage for Egyptians. Able to pick off those catapults nice and easily, and also do a lot of damage to the settlement as he's attacking. We see the war elephant coming in and going to be bashing away at this Son of Osiris. The Son of Osiris doesn't do a lot of damage to it at all, even though it has only 25% hack armor. Given it's got 652 HP, it's just absolutely gigantic. And takes so long to get picked off. These villagers in the back here for Joe are all falling right now, and he's just not able to get this town center up. But it's not like it matters here. This is just a game against the clock here. So long as Joe can keep this pressure up, he should be totally fine. But IKill, UDie is not letting up. He's still spamming out those mercenary. He's got the trade route up here. He's making siege works up to the top of the map. And Joe is trying to take down this Migdol stronghold. It is yet again the only Migdol stronghold that IKill, UDie has got. And these catapults are being completely ignored right now. If we check out the population, it's 165 of 169 for Joe versus 112 or 146 for IKill, UDie, as the Migdol stronghold does fall. These mercenary are only as good as the units that he's also making with them. Because it doesn't matter if you've got them, if they're the only thing you've got, because while they're strong, they don't fill up your population. You need to fill up that population. We do see a catapult coming out now for IKill, UDie, which will slow this down even longer. And I hate to say it, but I feel like I've said it. I mean, I've said it once, I've said it a million times. If you're going for a town center and you can't secure it, or you haven't secured it yet, the best course of action is towers this far back on the back of the town center. It means you're never gonna let the town center go to your opponents. In this situation, IKill, UDie could very realistically take this location for himself with enough willpower, I guess. But it's not happening just yet. This Son of Osiris is very low HP. If Joe just micros the war elephant here onto it, which is going to be doing, look how slow it goes. 2.9 speed. He's going to be moving these war elephants forward. Maybe going to be going after the hometown center here, as the catapult going to be taking down this guard tower. It has crenellations. It's got bronze weapons as well, and the champion elephants just having their eye on this town center. There is no masons, there is no architects, and these elephants do a lot of damage to town centers. I think they have like a 200% bonus versus buildings, and that's a lot of damage. It's like 60 damage or something per attack per second ish, or just under. And with all the villagers helping here to repair it, it may not quite go down, but these war elephants just don't die. And the town center gets sniped there by Joe, who's using this as a time to pick off these catapult as he's trying to grab this town center for himself. More champion elephants coming in now for Joe, and we do see IKill, UDie with one Migdol stronghold here, and the dock and the transport ship to pull these villagers over here. I think a little bit funny there. Some lighthouses coming up for Joe here. There's a little bit of an Easter egg there for you guys playing at home. That's funny. And we do see IKill, UDie tapping out in this moment. GG. Well played by Joe to take this one. Obviously, with that build that he does, he's very, very adept at these Egyptian mirrors. So he knows how to do it. And if you're going to be trying to go up against Joe's Egyptian, your best bet is basically to just learn his build and do it against him, or go for some sort of cheesy strategy. You can't try and wing these 3 town center builds because of how late IKill, UDie was to the heroic age. You just could not defend. It's not like he had less economy. If we check the resources out here, he was basically even at this point here when Ancestors Eclipse came down, or just behind, basically even there. Just after the prosperity came down, and then things started going Joe's way as he got further and further ahead. Anyways, leveling the series 1-1, we do have a game number 3 for you, so please stick with me while we get that one loaded up. If you have been enjoying the games, please consider hitting the follow button or hitting the subscribe button on YouTube's. Do appreciate those immensely, and we'll get the next game going very soon.